A reading from John. Jesus said to his disciples, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing. But I've called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from my Father. You did not choose me, but I chose you. And I appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask him in my name. I'm giving you these commandments so that you may love one another." Jesus said to his disciples, "I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete." Jesus offered these words of comfort and challenge toward the end of the ministry he had shared with his disciples. A few days after his triumphal entry into Jerusalem, and before his betrayal by Judas and his arrest by the Roman soldiers, Jesus had been dropping hints of what was to come, saying things like, "A little while, and you will no longer see me. Again, a little while, and you will see me." Such cryptic messages filled the disciples' hearts with anxiety and fear of what was to come, and also with a sense of loss, a realization that the unsurpassed privilege of traveling with the man Jesus was coming to a close. Fear of what is to come, and the realization of what had been lost. What had been lost? Fear and loss. It's part of the human condition. We all know what it feels like. Jesus must have seen evidence of those emotions written on the disciples' faces, for he offered them the antidote to fear and loss: love. His love and the love of their friends. "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." Hannah Arendt once wrote, "Fearlessness is what love seeks." Such fearlessness exists only in the complete calm that can no longer be shaken by events expected of the future. Hence, the only valid tense is the present, the now. Or as Tolstoy observed, future love does not exist, for love is a present activity only. That is the proposition I want to explore with you today. Our perception of the past, the present, and the future, and how our relationship with time is shaped by the experience of loss, love, and fear. The past is by its very nature lost to us. It can't be regained. It might be recalled with fondness, with joy, longing, or regret. But what is past and can't be regained. The future, that which has not yet arrived, is beyond our grasp. Yet imagining the future can fill us with hope, with eager anticipation, or with dread and fear of what is to come. But the present, this moment, is the place where love abides. And it is in the now where love transcends all loss and all fear. I had a good friend named Roland Griffiths who died last year. Roland was a remarkable man. Even though he wasn't particularly religious, I felt from the time I first met him that I was in the presence of the holy. He had practiced meditation for many decades, and it showed in his demeanor. He spoke quietly and slowly, thinking about what he was going to say before he said it. When I spoke, he listened and waited until he was sure that I'd finished before replying. There was often a gentle smile on his face, as if he was privy to some knowledge that had escaped the rest of us. He was slight of build and could slip in and out of a room, almost without being noticed. Roland was accomplished, a psychopharmacologist, a well-respected professor of neuroscience, psychiatry, and behavioral science at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. Yet his humility transcended all his achievements. He always seemed far more interested in the person standing in front of him than he did in himself. And then misfortune, or so it seemed, fell upon him. In 2021, he is diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic colon cancer. He rather rapidly moved through the usual stages of denial and grief, and then moved beyond a stage of acceptance and on to the most remarkable state of gratitude. Roland's daughter urged him to kick cancer's ass, but Roland didn't want to go to war with anything. I gathered with friends of Roland in the summer of 2022 at Menla, a retreat center in the Hudson River Valley. By then, Roland was too weak to attend the retreat in person, but he joined us via Zoom. I've heard and encountered a few people who expressed gratitude for an accident, a health issue, a hurtful encounter, some happenstance that gave them pause and caused them to redirect their energy or reevaluate what they deemed important in life. A wake-up call, it's often labeled. But never have I witnessed a human being who found in the prospect of imminent death such profound appreciation for life. In a conversation about his cancer with Sam Harris, the podcaster, Roland said, "It became quickly apparent to me that the only appropriate response was to lean into what's real and the gratitude that we can feel, for the privilege of being these conscious, sentient beings and the preciousness of that." Despite the limitations of human exchange via Zoom, at Menla, we could see that Roland's face was radiant. And the love that was somehow transmitted through a computer screen, the love he felt for us, the love he expressed for his wife, for his work, for all that is, permeated this collection of friends and cemented the bond among us. Roland died last October, without regrets of the past, without fear of the future, with gratitude for the preciousness of life, and with love in his heart, and with, as he said to us, an unexpected sense of joy and wonder. He died as he lived, in a place where there is fluidity between past, present, and future, a sense of timelessness that enabled him to live as few people I have known, so completely in the now. Misfortune awaits us all. Every one of us is going to get old, get sick, and die. Some of us sooner than others. Some of us fear the future. Some of us suffer from what we have lost and will never regain. Let me remind you that the past and the future are not good places to dwell. It can be useful to visit the past so that you might not make the same mistakes over and over again. And it's occasionally useful to imagine the future so that we can better prepare for what awaits us. But you don't want to hang your hat there. What we have right now is our only true home. Jesus said to his disciples, I appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last. This moment is all there is. Everything else is fruitless imagining. Jesus said to his disciples, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. Amen.